AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Joel Embiid is breaking the bank. Sources told Ramona Shelburne, Joel Embiid and the 76ers have agreed to a 3-year, $192.9 million contract extension.
Lord have mercy.
I guess I could look up some of the details, but the first thing on our mind is like, I don't know. What do you think about first when you heard that?
I mean, big shout out, AllBall TV, we in the building, man. Brother Flea, Fabian, Dom, Uncle White's, Kels. I'm gonna be honest. What was Philly supposed to do? Not sign him? But Lord have mercy, that's a little under $65 million a year. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's $64 million a year, like 64.1, something like that. I'm gonna be honest. To never get to an Eastern Conference Finals, I understand he got an MVP. I understand, I don't know if he's a generational talent or transcendent talent. Because I think those words get thrown around a bit too much. I'm being honest, the last of that is probably LeBron, God rest his soul, Kobe, guys like KD, Steph. But I mean, what was Philadelphia supposed to do? Me, I'm not paying nobody that. That's why I'm not a GM. That's why I work a regular job. That's why I don't have those positions. Because I wouldn't have a team, because I'm not paying nobody that. Especially if we're not even close to winning the championship. But that's a lot of money for a guy that breaks down at pivotal times, at crunch time. But $64 million a year, wow. It's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. Steph, I think, just signed 1 year, 66, so 63 with Golden State. We can understand that, But listen, Philadelphia, the 76ers just put a target on their own back. You just signed Paul George. You gave him the max. He got some money I don't think he deserved. He got a lot. Now you give him B. You got Maxey. It's championship or bust. This is what's going to make or break Joel Embiid's legacy. This is where he can either go down as one of the greatest centers we've ever seen, or one of the most overrated centers we've ever seen. Probably with maybe the top 5 most talented centers ever to never win. Because his skill set, you got to respect it. He can put the ball on the floor. His mid-range is money. He can step back and knock down a 3. When he wants to post up, he can be dominant. And he knocks down free throws. So, I get it. But wow, that was definitely breaking news. Joel Embiid, $64 million a year. But also, I'm trying to figure out, why wasn't it the 4 years with the option or the 5-year contract with the option? I think these 3 years is where you have him, Maxey, Paul George. He got
a player option.
After the second year.
The third season.
What's a 3-year contract?
Yeah, so the third season is an extension. Is the player option.
Okay, right. So he don't have to sign for the third year.
Right. That's on him. But
right.
They gave him all the leeway, to your point.
Right.
He will earn $69 million in the final year of the new deal.
So he's going to opt into that. Let's be realistic.
I mean, just by everything you're saying too, we don't expect him to be healthy. He's more likely to have these injury problems for the next 3 seasons. So you gave him, an injury-riddled player, all the power in the world to opt into $60 million. There's no way he says no. I mean, Philly might boo you. I think he's not worried about that, or maybe he is. Maybe he shows some humility.
Would you be worried about people booing you after you get paid $69 million? Come on, let's be realistic. These guys ain't worrying about that. We like we have to be for real. They just signed two guys to the max that are injury prone, Joel Embiid and Paul George.
Which is the repeat scenario with the Clippers.
Exactly. But the only difference is you have Kawhi there, who's already cemented, who has two finals MVPs, and you see what he does when he's healthy. You see the difference he makes, and he's not a 7-footer. You legit just said to the whole organization, to the fan base, we given 3 years for us to win a title. To me, that's what this contract is about. If they don't win a title, Embiid is out of Philly. I'm being honest. I don't care where Paul George goes. I don't think he cares. But if the 76ers don't win a championship, Embiid is out of Philadelphia. Now, where he's going to go, don't know. But just think about this, and I'll let you go. What do you think the goal is? Is it championship or bust? Because what if they don't even make the Eastern Conference Finals while he's under this contract? He's not winning MVP no more. Forget that.
Well, I disagree with that. In order for them to be anywhere near the best regular season team, championship team, he has to be an MVP in the regular season and the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're saying we're giving up 20 games in the regular season and forgetting about every single record or whatever it is. All right, then you're gonna earn your money in that playoffs and you better show up. So it has to be either or, because now you got an Eastern Conference MVP, Finals MVP. If you're omitting or what's the word when you surrendering most of the regular season just for the playoffs, then you gotta show up in the playoffs and be that guy that you're saying. It is chip or bust. It has to be. And I don't like, if I'm Philadelphia, I wouldn't put too much pressure on him to play games. I'll put more pressure on him, like staying healthy. What are you doing when you leave the stadium?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but when you paying a guy that money, he has to be on the floor. And that's hold on.
Even if he's injury prone?
Yes. Listen, if I'm paying you $64 million, a year, and then like you said, the third year out, option to opt out or whatever, 69, I expect you to play even if you banged up. Now, if you're injured, you know what the old school say, you can play if you hurt, but if you're injured, that's different. But now there's no excuse. You got what you want. Remember, we worked with you through the process. Remember, Philadelphia, the 76ers, the organization, the fan base, they did a hell of a job being patient with Joel Embiid. I wouldn't have been that patient, but that's me. So now you got to live up to this. I'm sorry. And the reason why I don't think he's going to get MVP, what numbers are you going to be able to put up with Paul George there? Remember, for guys today to have MVP numbers, you got to be putting up 30 plus. I'm sorry. How is he going to be averaging 30 plus with Paul George there?
And Maxey, I think Maxey can take away more MVP votes than Paul George, because if George is a true 25-year-old, he was back to being 25 and he looks amazing, it's like Shaq and Kobe all over again, where they take each other's votes in their prime. But I think Paul George being older, at least me, I'm thinking that they would think he's not affecting his MVP vote. He's still an MVP. Joel Embiid was in the MVP conversation last year until he went down, bro. He looked crazy.
Agree.
Crazy. With how Nick Nurse had him at the top of the key. We talked about all the time. He looked great. So Paul George and Tyrese Maxey can take away the MVP votes for you, but I think it's him not playing enough games, and they're going to worry about that. So I think he shouldn't be concerned with MVP. I think they should be concerned with trying to win as much as possible. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.